What are you smacking this wall for? Thoughts?
No idea.
Yes. This is really important. You need to have an intention for what you're doing. And if you don't even know why you're smacking this wall, this is bad. Yeah, so you're saying that your defensive fighting is suffering, right? Like whenever you get into a position where someone's keying you and you don't want to fight, but you try to defend yourself, you're having some trouble, right?
Yeah.
Okay, no problem. The first thing I want to actually explore instead of that idea is, can we get into the position where we can avoid the most fights possible? Like, I don't want to get grief mid-game, so then I need to be in the position where I'm not actually allowing that to happen first. Because defensive fighting should be the last like frontier. It should be like the fail-safe, like, oh, okay, fine, I messed up a little bit, someone's keying me, like, let me try to fix that by just defending myself. But if you can avoid all fights from the beginning, it's way easier because then you don't even need to defend yourself, no one's fighting you. And the way you can do that is by very consciously making good decisions in the mid-game where you're not getting into unnecessary fights. And so we'll take a look at that. It seems like your first 3 games don't actually have that problem. It seems like you made it to endgame, but sometimes you can get to endgame really scuffed because of some mid-game fight, you know? So we'll take a look. Good so far.
Yeah, I was only going there for my openings.
I think all of this is okay. Like, you have good loot here. You're probably just... I would continue to loot because you're missing what? What are you looking for here?
Void Mask?
Yes. If you can, and one more big obviously, but if we can find either one of those two or both, I think we're happy. I'm happy you didn't shoot that guy. There's no need for surge. Why alert him that we're here? So don't shoot him. It's good. What's the mistake?
I haven't shoot the bush.
Yes. How do we do that?
Check the bush next time.
Yeah, specifically how? Like, what do we do to check the bush? Shoot it. Yeah.
Spray.
Spray or shotgun?
AR.
I personally think shotgun is better. Personally. I'll tell you why. Because the goal of checking the bush should be to just get the damage off as fast as possible. The guy in the bush, as you're approaching, think about their like psychology, right? They're looking at you approaching. If they see you crouch, pull out your AR ADS and start airing the bush, then they're going to know that you know that there's someone in there, and then they're just going to start shooting you. But if you hip fire the bush with a shotgun, it's less likely that they're going to react to that, and they're probably just going to build, or you're going to get a hit marker or whatever, and then you'll know that there's someone in the bush. ARing is risky because it's not likely your first bullet is going to hit them. All they're going to see is someone spraying the bush, then they're probably going to shoot back. Because they're like, okay, game's up, like, this guy already knows I'm here. It seems good here. Like, it's just a little bit unlucky that we didn't find Void Mask. I think you did the right thing by giving up on it, because a lot of people tend to just keep on looting, right? For specifically the Void Mask. But let me put it this way. When you loot, it's very low efficiency to loot for one specific thing if that's all you're looking for. Like right here, you have cap loot except for Void Mask. You see that, right? So because of that, I do think you should just pop a big. It's probably better. Just to sit at 200. But if, like, for example, like back before you found your third big, you were looking for a big and a Void Mask. Then opening a chest has more likelihood to give you what you need. You have 2 items you're looking for, right? But if you're only looking for Void Mask and it's like 10 minutes into the game, when most people are running around in mid game, it's actually better to just sit still and not look for Void Mask anymore. Just like, you have some mobility. It's not the best, but it's okay. And like, this game's not going to demand a lot from you. Like, you'll be surprised if you just sit still with like no loot at all, you'll probably still get top 10. You know, you have good enough loot to secure this game, believe it or not. A lot of people just try to maximize their loot every single game, but what you should be thinking about instead is, what does the game demand from you? This game specifically doesn't demand a lot from you because the game's dead. Void Mask would be better, but I don't think you necessarily need it. You don't need to incur the risk of looting to get that Void Mask because this game doesn't need it. Conversely, if you were to get like a 50, 60 man lobby at this point in time, then Void Mask would be a lot more appropriate because you need it. You're not going to get any significant placement in a 50, 60 man lobby at this point. But since this game's just dying out, I don't think you need the Void Mask to get a successful game. So good. Yeah. Just hiding now. You did the right thing.
Because I was thinking of getting it, but I was like, nah.
It's just too risky, yeah. I absolutely would not run around with this HP though. Are you thinking like Siphon's gonna fix it?
To To be honest, I think I was just running around to pad to next zone, I think.
No, I understand, but the HP, like, I just think popping a big is so much better.
Oh yeah. I think I was finding extra heroes or something. Maybe
Yeah.
that was I was thinking about.
It's not a bad idea. I just think running around with less than running around with 150 is very risky, because if someone cracks you in an unstacked lobby, think about it, right? Unstacked lobby, the freedom to key you, even at this point in the game, is very high, because if someone cracks you, they can key you because there's no third party, because the game is so, it's not dense in population, right?
I think I did pop up big here.
Yep, which is good. I think he pops it. Yep, perfect. Void mask.
I think I'll eventually get the void mask.
What are you smacking this wall for? Thoughts?
No idea.
Yes. This is really important. You need to have an intention for what you're doing. And if you don't even know why you're smacking this wall, this is bad. Because I personally don't think you need anything else. Right here. Like your loot's literally cap. Maybe you can afford to get some like a little bit more mats. Sure. But the game doesn't demand it. 18 people. So just void mask in zone, call it a day. Every second you waste coming in a little bit later into zone, because you're like searching the spot is going to force your rotate to be later. It's gonna make it more risky to rotate. To make it more dangerous. So I would just rotate fast. You end up doing that, so that's good. I wouldn't do any of this. What do you need?
I have no idea, really honest.
Sure, we could refresh our mats. I totally see that. Like, we're 2/3 mats, right? Like, we could get 50 more builds, but the game doesn't demand it. I think you can get it later in a less risky way. So I would just AFK here, fully just AFK. And it's really important to me why that's the case. Like, I want you to see why I would AFK. Do you see why it's good to AFK instead of looking for the refresh?
Yeah, I see the reason.
Yes. How would you describe it?
You stay alive a little bit longer, right? Correct?
Yeah. I mean, let me put it this way. I think that refresh that you're looking for your mats will it will literally appear. Also, the best way to think about Fortnite in these like tournaments is think about your loot right now. Like, you have perfect heals, amazing mobility, and really good mats, right? Like, sure, it could be better mats. It could be 150 mats, but I think that's a little bit unrealistic, and that's okay. Like 100 mats and this loadout, I think our projected placement with this loadout without getting any refreshes, if played properly, is a second place or higher. Agreed? Like, you can literally get top 2 with this loadout without touching anybody else. Now, if that's the case, I think the way you should look at this is I have a lottery ticket for second place. But the lottery ticket only means anything if you go to the lottery ticket store to redeem it. It's worthless until you go to redeem it. How do you redeem it? You go to endgame. Right? Now, it's like I have this lottery ticket for $1 million and I'm just going through dark alleys at nighttime waiting to get robbed. Like, I'm risking my life when I have this lottery ticket instead of just going to the lottery store safely in the morning. You get what I'm saying? It's not the best analogy, but my point is, I think you should just not incur any risk because you have everything you need. There's no point.
I see the truth though.
Yeah. Small thing, I think it is necessary for you to 2x1 here, but small thing to look for is avoid 2x1ing as much as you can in solos. The only time you should do it is if you feel like it's absolutely necessary. A lot of people, think about it, right? Every time you void mask, if you 2x1 because you're very scared of someone keying you, what ends up happening is you run out of your mats twice as fast, right? Compared to the player who only single boxes, right? So like this position, you 2x1. The previous position, you made 3-4 boxes. Your rate of mat loss is literally 2 to 3 to 4 times higher than someone who just single boxes. If you ever watch Tayson play in stack games, where he's not keying the whole lobby, but he's just playing it properly, maybe in like a pro lobby or whatever, single box, sometimes even avoiding putting cones on top because he knows that's enough to stay safe. You don't want to get into the position where you're literally slowly killing yourself by just overspending on mats, which will then make it so that you're forced to go for a refresh earlier because you're going to run out of mats faster. So look for those opportunities to just get the single box. It's a win. Okay, next zone pulls. I would void mask. Yep. This is a good 2x1 because like you need to. You just got cracked, right? So it makes sense to 2x1 here.
Yeah. You're saying I should 2x1 for a reason. Mats will be losing. I'll lose mats.
Yeah.
Because I noticed that a lot in my scrims. I've been practicing scrims. I'll do a lot of mats when I avoid random spaces,
Yeah,
spots.
yeah. I mean, like think about it. 2 zones ago, we were literally 100 builds. Do you think it's normal for 2 zones where it's only like 1 or 2 void masks per zone for us to lose 65 builds? Right? A box is 8 builds. Right?
Yeah.
A pro player in your position, if played like really well, would probably use 20 builds, right? In the rotates, but we use 65, right? You see the difference. There's no refresh at all. It's just the fact that we use 65, they would use 20. That's what I'm looking for, is to be hyper efficient with your mat count. But like the issue here is now we're forced to go for a refresh at a really shitty spot. Okay, so how would I play this? Let me be very specific for you. This will really help you if I'm very specific, right? Because I'm being kind of broad here. Like, oh, save mats. Let me show you exactly how to save mats, okay? Like, how would I play it if I was put into your shoes with this position, okay? So first thing I would do is when I landed at this spot, I wouldn't even bother with the guy that you're fighting. Because why? Why should I care, right? So when I landed here, obviously I would go in a little bit earlier instead of wasting my time here, but regardless, right, I wouldn't waste any time here. I would just void mask earlier. Void mask, land. This is my box. That's it. That's it. You're in zone. What's the problem? All right, cone on top. Call it a day. Is anyone aggressing you?
No.
Okay. Yes, this guy's low, and maybe you know that.
Yeah.
But I don't see what we stand to gain that's significant. So by even fighting the guy who's 50 HP, yes, let's say it's an 80% chance that we win this fight. But it's a 20% chance that we die. But we have a lottery ticket to get second place. I don't want the 20% chance of dying. Right? Just because a fight is likely for us to win doesn't necessarily mean we should take it. We should also look at what we stand to gain and lose. And here we stand to lose a lot because we have an inventory full of, like, we're rich, you know? Why are we betting on crypto when we're rich? We're putting all of our money on crypto, you know? Doesn't make sense. So let's yeah, so here the first change that I would do is not make 3-4 boxes here to fight this guy. I would just sit in my first box that I landed, literally AFK. That would put me at 115 builds, right? And then here I would just AFK here again. So you get sprayed and you panic, even though, by the way, I just want to make this clear. If you just hold this wall, this guy's spraying you, right? If you just hold this wall for 2 seconds, I promise you he's going to stop. Most people that are spraying from mid distance are just testing you to see if you're holding. Once they see that you're holding, they will stop spraying. But you make a second box, which cuts your, you know, we burn into like 6 to 8 more builds. So I would just sit there with 1 build. Or 1 box, sorry. I wouldn't shoot at him either because we don't stand to gain anything. This you can maybe shoot, but again, to keep it simple, I just wouldn't even shoot these guys. Just stay quiet because again, every single wall you edit is a weak wall. So once you close this wall is like 40 HP, which invites someone else to spray you because it's a weak wall. So again, if you think about it, if you played the way I suggested, you would be at 107 builds right now. Another weak wall. I want you to notice this though. You open and edit, you make that wall weak, and then you turn your back on the weak wall. If someone else sees that weak wall and shoots you, you're not gonna be ready to hold it. It's gonna burn a big. It's gonna burn your heals. And more mats. And I want you to notice this. You would literally be better off doing nothing. Isn't that crazy? Also, here, really important void mask tip. Where you land is where you box. If you land with void mask and then run after, it's very scary because think about it. Look, think about the perspective from other people. They literally see your void mask flying through the air, the ball, right? And so they see it land on an area. What do you think they're gonna do? They're gonna pull out the AR and just stare at that spot because they know you're gonna show up. You should feel the pressure of those eyes on you and just box right away because you don't want to get shot. That's why we lose this HP, which is also why we 2x1, which digs into our mats even further. It's a snowball effect. But if we just land here, and what's the point of us going forward? We're gonna have to void mask again to get into zone, right? If you just box here, I want you to think of it like leapfrog, right? Like you're leapfrogging. Why take 2 extra steps to box here when we're gonna need to void mask anyways? So just, just void mask or box up here, spend your 8 builds, call it a day. Look at these mats, right? This is where we lost the game. You see this?
Oh.
How many builds do you think we spent?
20 probably.
Yeah.
Or like way more.
3-4 boxes, yeah, literally worth of builds. So 20.
I think
25.
I got greedy to save my void mask. So that was like.
No, don't. Yeah. But you have so many void masks. You have enough void masks for the rest of the game. Like you're good. You're good. You have 4. Even 4 is good enough, right? Because at this point, if played properly, you should have about 90 builds. No refresh needed, by the way. You're not even interacting with other people yet. So think about it. 90 builds, 4 void masks, 1 more to get into zone, 2 more to get into next, and then 1 more, right? And then you'll be about 50, 60 builds. 50, 60 builds in top 5. You just tarp, get your top 2. Right? So I want you to notice our inability to sit still is what's getting us killed. Our inability to keep it simple and our inability to like just calm down in solos is what's getting us killed. If you ever watch again in a pro lobby, like Tayson play solos back in the day, he's so simple, super simple. Like it's almost boring to watch. Like you just watch him like, okay, I'm gonna throw my shockwave, I'm gonna move forward, and I'm gonna land, I'm gonna box without a cone because he's mad efficient. He'll place a cone if he feels in danger, but like you see the difference. Like for him, because he feels in danger, he'll place a cone. For us, we'll make like 6 boxes. That's the primary difference. Yeah. 2x1 again. I know you're low here, but I don't think you can afford to do that. A better way to think about it is make your 1 box, hold your walls for like 2 to 3 seconds because you're expecting to get sprayed. If no one sprays you, you're not being looked at, so you don't need to make a 2nd box. It's better to be... I don't want you to be preemptive with your defenses. I want you to be reactive to your defenses. Meaning, you're making 2x1s because you're scared of someone spraying you. Make a single box, see what happens, then make a 2x1 if necessary. I'm not suggesting single box is the right answer all the time. I'm saying single box as like your first step is probably good. And then seeing if someone aggresses you. If someone's fully trying to jump in after you make a single box, yeah, of course I'm making a 2nd box. Right, but making 2nd box all the time is slowly killing yourself. So that's the key. It's a balance, right?
That's the key.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So I want you to see that game 100% top 2. This time for game 2, based off what you learned from game 1, what I want you to do is analyze the game the same way I did. So I want you to spot the mistakes that we talked about. Okay. So let's skip to 20 minutes. Do you think your loot's good here?
Yeah.
Why do you hesitate? Like, what do you think it's bad? Like, what?
I think my whites are. I think I'm counting bandages over here.
No, I think it's temporary. You probably pick up that AR, right?
No, temporary.
So this is your loadout. Pretty good loot.
Yeah.
Void mask. Look at the number of people in the game. What's your expected placement, do you think?
5.
Top 5, you think? I think you can win. Top 2 win. Like, if expected placement without a single refresh, you put a good player here, they would get top 2, top 1. Without a refresh. And that's the key thing. It's like, at the beginning of the session, you told me like fighting, whatnot, like you want to get better at fighting. I don't think fighting's your problem. It doesn't look like it. What's scary about what we're watching here? What's wrong with your rotate?
I'm wrapping it on the edge.
Partly. What about the timing of your rotate?
It's very late.
Yes. How can we fix that?
I should have gone earlier.
Okay.
To be honest.
Cool. When?
Right about now.
Yeah, I agree. Literally right now. Yeah. Also, is there a better way we can rotate here?
I would taking a longer distance.
Yes. You're wrapping around. That's exactly right. You're look, you have every right to be scared of this guy. But if you pay attention, he's leaving. And then look for this specifically. Not builds, but boxes. Is there other boxes other than this one? No. Walls. Just walls. No one's hiding here. most likely no one's hiding it here, like, you know. So I would just assume, because there's no boxes, that this is completely free. Run up the hill here, run up the right, run up there, call it a day. This is it. This is the rotate. It's, like you said, way less distance. And I really want to encourage everybody that I teach to only wrap if it's necessary. Because the downside of wrapping is, like you said, there's a longer distance associated with wrapping, which means you're going to be a later rotate, which means you're probably going to get held, whatnot. It's much more dangerous to late rotate.
I guess I get scuffed. I think. Sure.
Also, the mats that we use here is scary. Keep it really simple. Like, again, what's wrong with this move? I don't see a problem from your POV. You know? So I would just take the short, like, white line unless there's a problem. That's the golden rule. When we wrap... Yeah, go on.
I was scared of players beaming me or something. Because I experienced it.
Yes, yes. I totally... But that danger exists for wrapping too. Believe it or not. Though, like, you should only go right or left compared to white line if the white line seems to have a problem. How many mats did we have before this? Do you remember? The beginning of this rotate.
I had max brick and 300 wood or something.
Yeah, 125 builds. One rotate. Honestly, this rotate should have taken you 10 builds or so. But it cost us 40 builds.
40.
You see how we're killing ourselves 4 times faster than the normal play, you know?
Yeah.
We're literally killing ourselves. We're not... No one else is killing us. It's just ourselves.
Yeah,
so we conserve mats, you know? Yeah, exactly. These shots are free. I encourage this. This is good. Why? Because there's nothing to do yet. Like, the rotate's very simple. We're probably just void masking, so these shots are free. As long as you don't overcommit to, like, just keep on spraying him. Like, this is a good time to void mask. Ah, okay, so this is maybe what I wouldn't do. I would just void mask to zone. You see how it's getting worse and worse? Because when we choose to fight that guy instead of void masking to zone, we're not accounting for the fact that our rotate after killing him or not killing him is going to be late, which is going to incur risk. 2x1 thoughts?
Nah, should've.
Yeah, there's no need.
Fight them.
Absolutely no need, yeah. Some people would be like, oh, I'm making 2x1 so I can edit below me so I can shoot this guy. No, it's fine. Like 50 builds. I swear to God, even now your projector placement is top 2, top 3. Maybe you'll get like some small refresh later. But again, time the refreshes when you have less loot. Because at least you cashed out on some of the placement. 2x1 again. I really want you to see, because I'm pointing to it. I'm making note of it. I'm bringing light to this point. That you're burning through your mats incredibly fast. Like no one's killing you except yourself. A weak wall. Remember? So if you edit a wall and reset it, what I would recommend is either hold it for a little bit preemptively. You can just like pull out your blueprint and hold it. So that if someone shoots you, you're automatically holding it. Or you can flip clone and hold it. Or you can just pickaxe it yourself and place another build, which would bring it up to a decently healthy HP. And here we're just probably dead, yeah. The reason we're dead here is I think we're shooting people a little bit too much. Like we're engaging in fights a little bit too much. We're also engaging fights that don't even have anything to do with refreshes. I want you to take note of the difference between a kill and a refresh. What is the difference between those two?
A kill is like it's just a kill and it's just a fight point. The refresh is like you need loot.
Yeah.
When you're scuffed.
Yeah. So if you AR someone halfway across the map, it's not necessarily a refresh, right? Because like even if we kill him, it's not really gonna net us a loot.
It's just a point kill.
Yep. Also, I want to bring light to this. If you're ARing someone in a box who's not actually engaged into another fight, like he's just, you know, he's just sitting in his box, the likelihood that you 200 owe him is next to 0. So if you really think about it, all you're doing is just griefing HP. Whereas if you're ARing someone who's meddled into a fight, like you're third partying him, that is more likely to actually net you the kill / refresh because they're probably low. But if you shoot someone who's just in a box completely undistracted, he's nothing else to do, you're griefing him for no benefit to you, and he also will probably shoot you back after. So you have to selectively take your shots on someone. Like think about the kill here. right? Remember the kill you got earlier?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. What was the? Why was that a kill? Can note? I want you to be able to spot that this is probably a kill before it actually happens. And so, what do we spot here? Not this one, obviously. Remember, like this is never gonna be a kill. Why? Because he's completely undistracted. When we shoot this guy,
It's just a kill.
yeah, it's just a kill. But they were fighting each other.
Yeah, they're fighting each other.
Yeah, that's why it actually ended up working, because they were distracted. My point is, focus your energy on people who are distracted by something else.
Yeah.
This guy, like, he's low, but the problem with fighting this guy is he's backside. And when you're fighting someone backside, you're probably gonna end up coming in late. Again, just keep it simple, conserve your mats, etc. Our mats are good, but our shields aren't good. So then you can honestly kind of change your playstyle a little bit based on that. So meaning I would not take as many ARs. I wouldn't engage into a lot of conflict because any damage that I take now will stick because I don't have heals to fix it. But I do have good mats. So if I just play this game really boring, like Void Mask Boss, Void Mask Box, right? You could actually get really good placement this game.
I think I was just like,
You see?
I don't know. Yeah.
Now we're screwed. It's over. Basically, I would just not peek at all. I honestly think you can go far by doing that. You might be able to afford to peek if you have like max heals, but here... Now the problem is we're running around with this HP. A single bullet will crack us and then it's just over from there because the guy will probably Q us after the crack. What I would recommend for you, bro, is play scrims trying to apply what I'm saying, which is conserving mats, doing less, and just trying your hardest to get deep placement and having that be your primary mission. And for now, honestly, bro, if you just get rid of the side missions of getting kills, you will get way better at the fundamentals of Fortnite. Think about it this way. So many people don't get good placement in solo cash cups because they get distracted by the side mission. They almost put the side mission too highly. But if you, like, listen, like when you watch pros, of course they're getting kills. They're ARing people, right? You literally see that. They're getting a bunch of kills in endgame. And we want to be like that. But the thing that we're missing, the thing that we don't see when we watch pros play, is that they're never sacrificing the placement for getting those kills. They're getting those kills when it's truly like free. But in my opinion, the best way to do that as like an up and coming player like yourself is to only focus on the primary mission to begin with, so you can learn the fundamentals. You have to build the foundation of the pyramid first before you go and look at the niche stuff, right? And so here we need to, I would highly recommend, try your hardest not editing on people to begin with. Get really, really, really good at getting top 2, top 3, top 4. And when you consistently have that ability, like you're able to, like in 90% of scrims, just be able to get top 2, top 4. It's way harder than people think, right? I think, and the only reason it's hard is because people can't sit still. that's actually why it's hard. If people just were okay with doing nothing, they would get it. Think about like let's say you get into high elo lobby, right? If you try to play the same way where you're trying to neck kills or try to shoot people, you will get destroyed so fast. It's not even funny. Like you will literally lose the game so fast because people are way better. They're gonna punish you for those things, right? So we need to learn the fundamentals first, and the fundamentals of solo cash cups, in my opinion, is being able to get the deep placement and think of like getting kills as like the cherry on top.